What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. I gave the NFL a baseball schedule. Let's check this out. This will be crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
To prove it to you, Kirk Cousins
CTE will go up by like 100%.
Return soon, and my Milwaukee Brewers choked in the 9th inning and got kicked out of the postseason by the Mets. Speaking of getting kicked out, look where I am. Yeah, Hurricane Helene went right through my hometown, which at the time of recording this has been 8 days without power. But while a hurricane was completely devastating the Southeast, the sports world moves on, including the MLB postseason, which gives me the perfect time to do one of my favorite videos. What if the NFL played a 162-game schedule? To begin, we must clarify the format
Injuries will be through the roof.
We know their schedule is 162 games, but how do the divisions and playoffs work? The MLB is separated into 2 leagues, just like the NFL with conferences. In each league, there are 3 divisions of 5 teams. So I'm going to use this same format for the NFL. The only problem is that there are 32 NFL teams rather than 30 in the MLB, which means one of the 3 divisions in both leagues will have 6 teams rather than 5. So let's begin by taking a look at the new look NFC West. 2 things to keep in mind. Number 1, I wanted this to make sense geographically, and number 2, I try to maintain most of the divisions intact as they currently are right now. So the NFC West still has the Niners, Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks, but they added the Dallas Cowboys. Now let's go to the NFC Central. Fun fact, this used to be a thing before I was born in 2001, before the Texans came along.
This is kind of weird. I ain't gonna throw the Titans in there.
Saints and Titans, kind of interesting. And here's the NFC East, which still has the Eagles, Giants, and Commanders, but it's going to add on the Falcons and the Panthers. If you think this doesn't make sense, let me go back to what I was saying. In 2001, the NFC West had the Falcons and Panthers. So those are the 3 NFC divisions. Now let's take a look at the AFC divisions with the West. Once again, it's the same. The Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, and Broncos, but they add their 5th team. It's going to be the Houston Texans. And then the AFC Central has the Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, and Browns, but adding the Colts and Bills. So it's essentially the AFC North.
I ain't gonna lie. Hey,
and then finally,
for the Bills add. I ain't gonna lie. Hold up. In real life, I would actually swap out the Browns for the Bills ASAP. I ain't gonna lie, bro. The Browns, they don't even deserve to be in the AFC North. I'm keeping it a buck.
2 additions. And then finally, the AFC East, probably the worst division of them all. This is gonna have the Jets, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and then the Buccaneers and Jaguars. So here's a full look at what the new divisions look like. It's gonna be kind of unfair for the Centrals, and you can probably guess why. Obviously, it's because they have an extra team, and not to mention that these divisions are already stacked enough. So it's gonna be harder to win division for 6 teams instead of 5. Now, before I start the simulating, I'm also keeping track of stats of players as well, because I want to see their total tallies after 162 total games. So here's some quarterbacks. We have Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, and then we have the founding fathers in the NFC right now. Weirdly enough, Jared Goff.
Founding fathers is crazy.
But mentioning the best quarterback in the NFC right now, the rookie Jaden Daniels, I'll be stat tracking, and then alongside Dak Prescott, into some receivers, I'll be tracking Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and Stephon Diggs. You can see I'm trying to pick the most trendy and best players right now, which is why I'm including Nico Collins, who leads the league in yards at the time of recording, and then Malik Neighbors, who leads the league in receptions. But more players, we have Marvin Harrison Jr., Jaden Reed, and then some running backs, Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. And finally, 4 more running backs, I'll be tracking Alvin Kamara, Jordan Mason, the backup to Christian McCaffrey, and then I'm going to do an interesting dynamic with Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones to see which running back is better at their new homes. To prove I'm not pulling these numbers out of a magic hat, here's an Excel spreadsheet of all the data and numbers I will be collecting today. I know this is the most corporate 9 to 5 you'll ever see on my channel. Okay, one more thing for real this time. To make this video more interesting, as we progress, the injuries and fatigue slider is going to go up. So right now, we're starting at the base injury and fatigue at 25 and 50, but as we progress through the season, every 17 games, it's going to slightly go up until we get the max. So our first simulation is underway. I'll join back up at week 17. So Baltimore jumps out in the front early. But
yes, sir. Let's go.
Is the Tennessee Titans and Will Levis. I
feel
bad.
162 games crazy.
Starting. The best passer I'm keeping track of course, will be Patrick Mahomes. Saquon Barkley is starting the season strong, 1,200 yards and 19 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Amon-Ra St. Brown is the best player I'm keeping track of. Well, 17 games in, a full NFL schedule's worth, it's all downhill from here. Our division leaders currently are the Cowboys, Lions, and Eagles, though I doubt it will stay like that considering we have like 150 more games to play. Surprisingly, the Vikings are 4-13, which they have more wins in real life than they did in one entire season sim. Now let's look at the AFC, where we have the Chargers, Ravens, and Jaguars.
Typical Browns being 5-12,
It's gonna be a long season. I doubt this stays the same. Bengals finished 6-11, which at this rate, they'll probably finish that same record in real life as well. Now, this is something I forgot to mention in the intro. How do the playoffs work? Well, you'll see this graphic appear up every now and then. This is the wild card race graphic. We'll have 3 columns. We have the division leaders, the wild card, and in the hunt. Now, baseball playoffs is a little bit different. For whatever reason, there's 6 teams that make the playoffs in each league, but only 2 of the division winners will get buys. So as we stand right now, the Eagles and the Lions are the best division leaders, so they would have the buys right now, as the Dallas Cowboys
in the NFL used to do that too with the 1 and 2 seed until like I think it was like until 2020, because I remember in 2019 they did that. And then I think they just stopped doing it after
division
that.
wouldn't get one. They would have to play the 6th.
If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong,
the 4
but
and 5 also playing.
I think that's how I
story
remember
goes for the AFC. Currently, our division leaders in the byes with the Ravens and the Chargers, with the Jaguars following. The wild card consists of the Bills, Steelers, and Texans, and then in the hunt, you have the Chiefs, Dolphins, and Jets. So our first season's worth is over. Now it's time to bump up the injuries and the fatigue. Injury will go up 8 every year, and fatigue will go up 5. So we're up to 32 and 55. Now this is something I mentioned last time I did this, which was well over a year ago, but the dynamics would be really interesting if this actually was to happen. I imagine you wouldn't have the same starting quarterback for every single game, so it'd be just kind of like the pitching position in baseball. You would have starting quarterbacks, relief quarterbacks, and then closing quarterbacks. So I can only imagine the Green Bay Packers, they start Jordan Love one game, they need to rest him, Malik Willis plays the next game. Or maybe the Buccaneers start Kyle Trask a game, he does
Kyle Trask, bro, I haven't heard that name in a minute.
To close it out, they bring in Baker Mayfield to win the game. So who did the best in this stretch? My Green Bay Packers represent 14 wins.
Packers fan,
I was just saying the Jaguars division lead would not last
Shout out to all my
long.
Packers
It's going
fans.
to last longer. 14 wins. The Patriots not looking so good, however. They're going to have 2 wins in this stretch. Mahomes literally almost threw for 5,000 yards, 52 touchdowns and 9 picks. That's like the greatest MVP season ever. Derrick Henry with an impressive 17-game stretch, 1,400 yards and 22 touchdowns. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown is still the most impressive receiver right now. Look at this, 1,796
yards, 1,700 yards and 20
114
touchdowns. Crazy.
Well, 34 games in, not too movement in the standings, but we still have a long season to play. We're about a 5th way through. The Packers jumped the Lions in the Central, however. Gotta say, Madden is still disrespecting the Vikings. I don't think they should be 9 and 25 if this is a reflection on real life. And then to the AFC, same division leaders, the Jaguars up to 24 wins. They're not the best, however, because the Ravens at 26 and 8. And then you can see the Chiefs and Bengals are clawing their way back up into the mix. Now, I'm going to be curious today to see if a team can do worse than the Chicago White Sox did this year. The White Sox finished with a record of 41 and 121.
Holy fuck.
Right now, they're doing the Patriots at 8 wins. They're the only closest team to be that impressive.
Nah, that's diabolical.
Again, even though we're barely into the season, let's take a look at the wild card race. The Packers and the Eagles are the byes. But some separation is starting to be forming. The Lions, who are in a stacked division with the Green Bay Packers, up 7 games in the wild card. But currently still out of it is the Niners, Falcons, and Rams at 18-16 and 16-18. The AFC has the Ravens and Jaguars as the byes. The Chiefs have found their way into the playoff picture with the Bills and Texans in the wild card.
Seen the
and the Dolphins,
Jaguars
Steelers are in the
like
hunt.
really
So
good since like what?
Which I believe brings us to game
2015
51.
or something.
Injury is at 40, fatigue is at 60. Oh my goodness, the Bengals are back. They went 16 and 1.
16 and 1.
I see we're still unnecessarily hating on the Vikings, however. Same goes for the Buccaneers. 4 wins, really? So after 51 games, we're approaching close to the 3rd way mark of the season. The Packers remain on top of the Central. So do the Eagles, but we have a new team leading the West. It's the Seattle Seahawks. The AFC stays the same for the Central as well. In the West, there's a new leader. The Kansas City Chiefs are now 35 and 16. I'm going to skip ahead some games to pass the halfway mark of the season to game 85. This has taken me a very long time, and I know you guys with TikTok attention spans are getting bored. But anyways, the injuries up to 56, the fatigue is up to 70. I've already noticed differences in the standings and stats of the players. Well, about time. The Vikings on top of the league with 13 wins. That's more like it. The Jaguars are still winning games constantly. Another 12-win stretch. Oh,
the complete opposite of real
life. This is the rushing leaderboard. Only one rusher over 1,000 yards.
No, that's wild.
Receiving as well, very hurt. Justin Watson, a white dude, leads all the receivers. So back to the standings. Past the halfway point of the season, the Green Bay Packers looking really good, have a commanding 11-game lead over second place in the Central. Now the AFC is very interesting. Looking at the West and Central, these divisions are stacked. First of all, the Ravens are the best.
Central is crazy though.
61 total wins, but not too far behind the Bills at 59, and their entire division, the Bengals, Steelers, and Colts.
Bengals, they went from the second to last spot to the 3rd.
Useful. Every game counts from here on out. The Green Bay Packers and the Eagles still hold a bye.
Was it the 3rd or was it the 4th?
Useful. Steelers and Colts. For the AFC, things are wide open. I imagine this will come down to the very last game to determine who makes the playoffs and who doesn't. Currently, the Ravens and Jaguars still hold the byes. And because we're at the halfway point, I figured I'd show you some stats for the best player at each position. Here's Mahomes.
52
I wish I could show you a different
picks.
quarterback, but he's just been so dominant so far through 85 games. 2,300 yards, 228 touchdowns, 52 picks.
I mean, like, bro, imagine, like,
yards per game.
It's not gonna happen, but like, imagine if if the NFL like actually had a baseball schedule, bro.
Aaron Rodgers' stats.
Like every single record would be broken, shattered.
But here's Amon-Ra St. Brown for the wide receivers. He has 6,600
nasty.
yards, 68 touchdowns, 474 receptions, averaging 13.9 yards per catch. And then our best running back currently is Derrick Henry, 5,500 yards, 79 touchdowns on 1,000 attempts, averaging 5.4 yards per carry. But as we saw the running backs, as fatigue and injury goes up, their stats go down. So honestly, it's probably not going to look too impressive from here on out. So I'm going to go ahead and jump up to game 119.
I know the older players got to be affected the most out of this
point. Our injuries are at 72. Our fatigue is at 80. I imagine they're going to go to change.org, start a petition for two-hand touch only. And our passing game has taken a huge toll. The only passer above 4,000 yards was Josh Allen at 4,500. But you can see Mahomes, who was used to throwing 4,000 plus per every 17-game stretch, only down to 2,500. He probably got injured. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, and I don't even know who this dude is. Chris Brooks just
okay. I remember that name.
873. Well, with only 43 games to spare, we know our contenders and we know our pretenders. The NFC is staying the same for the most part. The Packers, Eagles, and Seahawks still leading their division. As for the AFC, the Chiefs and the Bills have came alive. They're now the only teams over 80 wins. 82 for the Bills, 81 for the Chiefs. In the hunt, the Niners down by 2, Commanders down by 4, and the Vikings are still down by 6 games. As you can tell, I'm kind of cheering on them to make this comeback. The Ravens got knocked out of their division lead, so they're now a wild card team, even though they're 9 games up. The Dolphins and the Chargers are the other wild card teams. But in the hunt, we have the Bengals, the Steelers down by 1 game, the Texans down by 2 games, and you can't see it, but there's multiple other teams only down by like a handful of games that can definitely make the playoffs. All right, beginning our second to last simulation.
90 fatigue and 88 injuries. Crazy.
Injury is at 88, fatigue at 90. This is awesome.
That shit is damn near maxed out.
For that number 1 seed. 9 wins for the Vikings. I don't know if that'll help that much. How about the best rusher? Sure,
Tank Bigsby
950. And with 9 remaining games, we are coming down to the wire. We've already had a few clinches. The Packers and Eagles have already clinched their division, so one of those teams is going to get a bye. Same story goes to the AFC, except they are much more top-heavy. The Chiefs and Bills have already clinched a spot. They've already clinched their divisions. Look at them, 108 wins, 107 wins. It's just a matter of who gets home field advantage at this point. So believe it or not, we've kind of had a switch. The NFC wildcard race is much more competitive now. Look at
this. The Seahawks didn't really climb the board.
Division leaders. The wild card Lions and Cowboys are up 6, but that final spot is going to be crucial. We don't know who's going to get it yet. The Falcons currently hold it at 81 and 72. The Vikings down by 1 single game now. Last time we checked, the AFC wildcard race was pretty close, but now it looks like teams are starting to pull away. We already know the Bills, the Chiefs, the Jaguars are division leaders. Current AFC wildcard is the Ravens, which will more than likely stay there, and then the Dolphins, and then the Steelers. But now 4 games behind the Chargers, 5 games behind the Bengals, and 7 games behind the Jets. I do not know if we'll see any changes, but it's definitely possible with 9 remaining games. All right, the final simulation, 9 more games. I'm going to go
and the bro, they're completely maxed out.
I mean, this is crazy. Literally like 20
Oh my gosh.
I can just keep on scrolling down this list. This is like over half the league. So the Jaguars are 5-0. They might clinch their division. The Falcons are currently 4-1, which is good. They hold a wild card spot. But the Vikings are not backing down. They're also 4-1. Not a good look for Kansas City. They're probably going to choke away the number 1 seed. So here's the wild card race with 4 remaining games. We already have 5 teams to clinch, but that 6th seed is up for grabs. Either the Falcons or the Vikings. The Vikings are currently 1 game out of it at the moment. As for the AFC, we already have our buys. It'll be the Bills and Chiefs, but the Chiefs have kind of choked away their number 1 seed as the Bills will take it over. The Jaguars have clinched their division now, and you can see the wild card is up for grabs in the 6 as well. This time we have 2 teams in the hunt, the Bengals and Chargers, and the Dolphins currently hold the 6. So this might be a little confusing, but the Falcons are going into game 162. If they win against the Cowboys, they lock up the 6. But the Vikings are on game 160. They have to play the Colts and the Jaguars. If they win out and the Falcons lose to the Cowboys, then they take the 6. Oh my goodness, the Falcons are getting blown out in game 160.
Damn, 31-7 is crazy.
Wide open for the Minnesota Vikings. Let's see if they can win out. And so the Vikings barely won their game 161, beating the Colts 12-10, which means they are tied with the Falcons, and if they beat the Jaguars, then they take the 6 spot. Here it is, game 162 for Minnesota, win and in. The only problem is that Sam Darnold, of course, is injured, but Justin Jefferson isn't. That was an 8-yard pickup before the 2-minute warning. This is going to be a fake in the handoff. I believe this is Rypien in the game. He's going for a long shot. And
damn, they're going to do a pick, man.
2-minute warning. The Jaguars have clinched the 3 seed in the AFC, but can the Vikings do the
bro, now this quarterback's some ass.
Well, this could be the end of Minnesota's season. The run could end
4th
here.
and 2,
2
holy
yards.
shit.
It's knocked away. It's a turnover on downs. Jaguars get the ball back. The Minnesota
they got
Vikings
2 timeouts
left.
That's game. That's game.
Up the middle. Tank Bigsby first down. And unfortunately for Minnesota,
Bigsby
the
close to
Jaguars
100
are in
yards.
victory formation to knock out the
That's
Vikings
tough.
in the hunt. I guess it was too good to be true, but how about the Jaguars? They've been really good today. Well, our NFC standings are official. We have our 6 playoff teams. The Falcons just sneaked their way in at the 6. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the tiebreaker? Because the Falcons and Vikings finished with the same record, yet the Vikings didn't make it. Well, the tiebreaker I decided to do, because I'm not keeping track in depth, is just their placement in their division. So the Falcons had second in the East.
Okay,
while the
that's
Vikings
smart,
were
that's
third in
smart.
the Central, meaning the Falcons will get the 6th seed. However, we have quite the dilemma in the AFC. We also have 2 teams tied in the 6th seed, the Dolphins and Chargers at 92 and 70. But as you can see, the tiebreaker that I just said doesn't work because both of them are tied at second in their division.
So how this gonna
only
work?
Calls for one possible thing
They
to
gonna go
do,
against each other?
and that's gonna bring game 163 out of retirement. This doesn't happen in
Oh.
the MLB anymore, but it's going to happen here because I didn't choose any other tiebreakers. The Chargers and Dolphins will have to play one single game, game 163, winner gets the 6th seed. So game
Okay.
163, Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers are trailing by 1 point to Tyler Huntley and the Miami Dolphins. And it's gonna
Tyler
be third and
Huntley
a
is
long 11.
crazy.
3 minutes and 30 seconds
Former
remaining.
Raven.
Justin Herbert's going to pass the
I
football
heard about-
further than that, and he has a completion.
Oh, he didn't drop it?
37. Going to put us
Fucking
under 3
surprised.
minutes after this play by Herbert
Nigga
on
dropping
a cross.
everything.
That's another first down. Let's see how much time they can burn up here. Could the Dolphins actually force a stop here on 3rd down and 1? It's going to be close. J.K. Dobbins
Wow.
couldn't get it. He goes backwards.
Gotta go for that,
I
I
think
ain't
this is
gonna
the
lie.
only decision you have. You have to go for this. You cannot kick a field goal from this distance. It would be well over 55 yards.
They probably-
Fourth
they
down
probably
and
don't
2
even
for
have
the
Cameron
LA
Dicker
Chargers.
anymore.
Herbert to pass, and he drops it.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Quentin
I have
Johnston-
never seen a receiver in Madden drop a pass
Quentin
that
Johnston rubbed
open.
it off
And
on
with the
Josh
playoffs
Palmer,
on the
bro.
line, Joshua Palmer just screwed up the chances for the
Nah, that's
Chargers,
tough.
and now they have to stop the Dolphins from getting a couple first downs. Final chance for
That's
the
game.
Chargers, first
That's
down
game.
Dolphins. And so the Dolphins will win game 163.
Wow.
Joshua Palmer better be deactivating its Instagram as we speak. He better change his profile picture just to a black square. And so now we've narrowed it down to 6
That's
teams in
tough.
both conferences, which gives us our playoff picture set. But
Okay.
before we look at it, let's take a look at all the stats of all the players I kept
Hella
up with
interesting,
today. Now,
too,
I can
bro.
tell you these are in no specific order, but Mahomes was the best passer in my opinion. 3,800 yards, 360 touchdowns, 92
Damn,
picks,
360
averaging
tuds in 1
236
year
yards
is
per
crazy.
game. Jared Goff did pretty decent. 35,000 yards, 265 for 112 interceptions, 218 yards per game. And Josh Allen was the only quarterback to throw for 40,000 yards in the season, putting him at the most yards and the most yards per game at 248, while
Okay.
throwing 325 touchdowns but 116 interceptions.
So wait,
Now,
so
he's gonna turn the ball-
how does he round out the yards per game though, bro? This shit is hella confusing to like make a video about
throwing
this. I ain't gonna lie.
325 touchdowns, but 116 interceptions.
You gotta
Nobody
be like-
turned
you
the
gotta
ball
have, like,
over
a
quite
big
Baker
brain for
Mayfield
this, I
did,
ain't
but
gonna
that's
hold you.
okay because he still had decent stats: 3,200 yards or 32,000. 265 touchdowns and 201 yards per game. Sam Darnold didn't do as good as I thought he would did, but still pretty decent with 30,000 yards, 287 touchdowns, and 101 interceptions. I know y'all probably thought including Dak Prescott's a really interesting choice, but he's a regular season merchant, so I just want to see how
Only
his numbers
88
were
picks,
looking.
though.
He got 35,000 yards, 290 touchdowns, and 88 picks, so that's pretty solid, while also averaging 216
boy
yards
Lamar.
per game. Now, our final 2 quarterbacks, I kept track of some more stats. I want to see how they would
Oh,
rush as
rushing
well.
yards
So
too, okay.
25,000 passing yards for the rookie Jaden Daniels, 210 touchdowns for 97 interceptions, and then rushing 3,600 yards, 57 touchdowns, while averaging 178 total yards per game on the ground and through the air. Now take everything Jaden Daniels did and make it better with Lamar Jackson.
Yes, sir, Skate.
27,000 yards, 217 touchdowns, only 82 interceptions, the least out of any quarterback. 5,500 rushing yards, almost 100 rushing touchdowns, and a total of 202 yards per game. Probably the
talking
second
about?
best quarterback today. Let's get to the receivers. The best
Okay,
one today,
Amon-Ra.
hands down, Amon-Ra St. Brown, with 10,499 yards, 108 touchdowns, 818 catches,
Nigga
and averaging
almost had
12.8
1,000
yards per reception.
receptions.
Justin
Holy
Jefferson
shit.
did not do as good as I thought, but while increasing the injury and fatigue meter, the player's stats went tremendously down, so I don't blame him at all. 7,800 yards for 63 touchdowns, 765 catches, averaging 10.3 yards per catch. Solid season for Stephon Diggs, 8,600 yards, 73 touchdowns, 713 catches. Likewise for CeeDee Lamb, he had 9,100 yards, 73 touchdowns, and 791 receptions. The current receiving leader in real life is Nico Collins, so I was interested to see how he would perform in this for 8,500 yards, 78 touchdowns, and 714 receptions. And then the rookie Malik Neighbors, not the numbers I was expecting to see, but it does make sense because he did get injured in real life. I imagine he would get injured with 100 injury rating. Almost 7,000 yards, 52 touchdowns, and 667 receptions. Another rookie, Marvin Harrison Jr.,
MHJ.
7,200 yards with 72 touchdowns, just under 700 receptions. And our last receiver, not bad for Jaden Reed, 8,000 yards, 61 touchdowns,
Okay,
747 receptions. Now to our running backs, which I thought the numbers
sir.
would plummet real bad, but Derrick Henry surprisingly is still
My
pretty
God,
good.
5.6 a
8,000 yards,
carry?
107 touchdowns, almost 1,500 attempts, and average 5.6 yards per carry. Saquon Barkley looks really similar, just
Saquon.
under 8,000 yards, just
Almost
under 100 touchdowns,
touchdowns.
1,400 attempts, 5.5 yards per
Five and a
carry.
half,
Alvin
right,
Kamara,
okay.
not as good, but solid, 7,000 yards, 73 touchdowns, 1,375 attempts, 5.1 yards per carry. And then I wanted to include Jordan Mason because I imagine with the injury rating at 100, Christian McCaffrey would essentially be out every game, but I guess not because his numbers are not as high
Every
as I thought.
game is
52
crazy,
yards,
I ain't gonna lie.
59 touchdowns,
But that's fair,
1,200
though.
attempts, and only averaged 4.3. Now, who was the better running back out of Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones? Well, Josh Jacobs had 8,300 yards, 76 touchdowns, 1,400 attempts, and averaged 5.8 yards per carry, the most out of all the running backs. And the answer to that question is Josh Jacobs. Aaron Jones only finished with 7,700 yards, 60 touchdowns, just under 1,500 attempts at 5.2 yards per carry. And now we can finally take a look at the official
this
playoff
bracket
bracket. This is
looks
exactly
crazy.
how it's set up in the MLB, and I'll explain
Okay.
it further. So for the wildcard round, instead of being a singular game, it's a best-of-3 series, which is all hosted
Best
by the
of 3
higher
series.
seed.
I
And then
thought
you get to the
I thought he was
divisional
gonna do a best of 7 series. I ain't gonna lie.
series, which is a best-of-5 series. It goes 2 games for the higher seed, 2 games lower seed, and then game 5 necessary back to the higher seed. And then the conference series and the super series are best-of-7s. That being said, it's time to begin the playoffs. We'll start the AFC wildcard with the newly joined Dolphins, who barely sneaked their way in, playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. I can't believe Jacksonville's hosting a playoff game, but here we are. Tyler Huntley down by a touchdown in game number 1 of the wild card, starting with a first down pick up to the 50-yard line. 70 seconds remaining.
Hold up,
Jalen
did that
Waddle
say Huntley
on
had
game number 1
400
of the wild
yards
card, starting
passing?
with a first down pick up to the 50-yard
Yeah, this is
line. 70
definitely
seconds
a video
remaining.
game,
Jalen
bro.
Waddle in
This
motion.
nigga
I don't
will
know how
never
that
have
was not
40
blown
yards
out of the backfield,
passing.
but it works.
Holy
Tyreek Hill with a catch
shit.
to the 22. They get to the line quick. No huddle with 44 seconds remaining. Tyler Huntley has to get rid of the football, but he
What,
can't
Trayvon
do it.
Walker?
Trayvon Walker from the University of Georgia comes up with a sack, and it's going to put him in an uncomfortable situation.
I thought they were about
with
to
10
run the
seconds
ball.
remaining.
Walker
It's not another.
again?
The Dolphins are going to lose game 1. Trayvon Walker again. Let's now go to the second wild card
Oh,
in the
shit,
AFC
here we
with
go.
game 1 of the Steelers and the
We're
Ravens.
winning.
Justin Fields has to have a touchdown
Let me guess,
drive to
Steelers
take the
gonna have a
lead here.
game-winning
Baltimore
drive, huh?
have to punt the football here. It's a 3rd down and 4 for Justin Fields. Can he get
Ooh,
out of the
let's
pocket?
go.
He
This
cannot.
shit
He
away.
takes a sack for 4th and 10. Now they're
Second
forced to punt.
sack.
So with 2 minutes and 20 seconds, here comes TJ
Classic
Watt getting
TJ
a sack
Watt,
on
bro.
Lamar Jackson. That is huge, and that's
Seen that
just a
before.
2-minute warning. So 3rd down and 11, they're going to hand the football
Derrick
off
Henry.
again. Derrick Henry
Imagine he
actually
picks up the
some
first.
decent yardage, but they're going to punt the football back to Pittsburgh. Redemption drive for Justin Fields from his own 32.
Damn.
Solid start for 9. Down to a minute
Roquan
and
lit
20
his ass
seconds.
up.
Justin Fields staying in the middle of the field once again. Not the smartest decision. We need to see Fields attack outside the numbers. We're under 1 minute. He does the exact same pass again. So 4th down and 5 for Justin Fields and the Steelers. What do they decide to
4th
do?
and 5,
The
yes,
same
sir.
pass again. The Steelers
This is
were getting
definitely a video
silver
game,
platter
though,
to win that
'cause,
game again, and they
I remember
failed.
the last time we
Playbook
beat Pittsburgh was like
failed. Now let's
2019.
go to the NFC side of the wild card with the Falcons taking on the Seahawks. The 6-seed Falcons need a touchdown. They're down by 6 points. Can they get it here? Kirk Cousins gets it, and the Falcons win game 1 in Seattle. Now let's head to our last wild card matchup with the Lions and the Cowboys, where the Lions need to get this first down, 4th down and inches to stay alive. They're going to hand the football
Damn,
off, and it's going to
Montgomery.
be close, but it's a
Ooh,
first
got
down
it.
for Detroit. So they let the clock burn down the 40 seconds. 3rd down,
Third down in the
it's 4th
rock.
down territory no matter what. This is
Oh,
nowhere close to the
damn.
marker. Sam Laporta goes down at 4th down and 4. So another 4th down needing to be converted by the Lions. This time it's 4
Goff.
yards, and this is going to be
Wow.
for the Cowboys, and they're going to steal game 1 away from Detroit. So our wildcard game 1s are over. Now it's time to see if the teams that won can close it out going into game 2. So Miami needs to hold Jacksonville out of the end zone here if they want to have a chance for game number 3, but they
Should've
won't
died.
do that. Instead, the Jaguars
Two-score
have
game.
a touchdown to take a 10-point lead. Tyler Huntley looking to answer back with a touchdown. The Tyreek
Oh, what a
Hill stiff arms his way into the end
That
zone, so
nigga
now they're down by
Tyreek
3
Hill with
once
a
more.
stiff
That was
arm.
step 1. Here is step 2. Can they recover an onside kick?
Nope.
Not even
He gonna
close.
crib it?
So somehow,
Aw,
some way, the
imagine.
Jacksonville Jaguars will be the first team to move on to the divisional series after sweeping the Dolphins. The Steelers will put up
Wow.
35 points in game 2, so there will be a game 3 in
Fuck.
Baltimore. And how about the Atlanta Falcons, who will sweep the Seahawks both games on the road, and they will move on to the divisional series as well. And now the Lions will have a dominant game 2 victory. which will go to
38 to
game 3 in
16
Detroit.
is
So this
crazy.
leaves us with 2 game 3s to be played in the wild card: the Ravens versus Steelers and the Lions versus Cowboys. As
Winner
the Jaguars
faces
and
the
Falcons will be
Bills.
moving on to the next round already. Once again, their offensive play calls are awful. They need to go outside the numbers. That's
Damn.
the best thing they've done so far, and it actually goes backwards. So 3rd down and 7. Justin
Come on,
Fields has
lock
to
in
pass the
defense.
football. He
Oh
does
my
so on
gosh.
the run. They get the first down. Actually, ooh, Oh, it was
Holy
close,
shit.
but George Pickens gets railed, but he gets the first down. We're closing under 1 minute right now. Justin Fields, a nice completion to George Pickens to the 19. That's his best throw so far. Down the 43 seconds.
I'm treating this like this is real life.
It's going to be 8 yards. They're not going to call a timeout. And because of that, it puts them under 20 seconds with a 2nd and 1. Fields scrambles out
No.
First down
The tackle.
And he is in the end zone for the time.
They're going to go for 2. They're going to go for 2.
Steelers
I knew
are
it. I knew
They
it.
don't want overtime. They want to end it here. Game
Pitching
3.
it back.
It's gonna
Make a
be
stop.
backwards. Good blocks.
Are
It's
you
good.
fucking
The
serious,
Steelers
bro?
lead. Najee Harris is in the end
Just
zone.
like
All
real
of a
life,
sudden,
gang.
It went from running out the
Just
clock
like
to
real
seeing
life,
if Lamar
bro.
Jackson can get in field goal range with
Of
11
course.
seconds. Great start. I believe Zay Flowers has this one to the
Ooh,
43.
hold up.
And just like that, a field goal is out of the picture
Damn.
unless they draw pass interference. Lamar Jackson throwing it up to the left sideline. It's caught, but could not make his
Oh
way
my
to the end
gosh.
zone. The Steelers with the gutsiest
Nigga,
call
why
in
you
game
celebrating?
3 will win the series. All of a sudden,
Of
the Cowboys
course.
have marched their way within the 10-yard line, make it the 1-yard line, 2nd and goal. Will the Lions be able to make a goal line stop? Dak Prescott's going to throw from the 1-yard line. Interesting decision, and it pays out. Touchdown, Dallas.
Fucking catch.
Did Jalen Tolbert have both feet in bounds? Oh, I think he did. With 25 seconds remaining, I'd say the Lions need about 10 more yards to get in range.
Goff
Jared
threw
Goff
another
throws
pick to
another
Diggs?
interception. He
Oh
threw one in
my
game 1
gosh.
to end it and game 3 to end it. And so the Dallas Cowboys will steal away this wild card series and will move on to the divisional
So we
series
definitely
with
know
the
this is a
Packers.
this is a
And that
game.
concludes the wild card. We're now going to the divisional. We have the Jaguars versus Chiefs, Steelers versus Bills, Falcons versus Eagles, and Cowboys versus
Okay, this is an
Packers.
interesting little
A bit
setup
different
right
wild
here.
card because these are best of 5 series. First 2 games will be at the higher seed, then it'll rotate to the other team, and then game 5, if necessary, will go back to the higher seed. Game 1 in the
Okay.
divisional series. I have no clue what's gone into the Jaguars. They're doing much better here than they are in real
What a
life.
cat.
and they're
That
already
nigga's about to
inside
pull a
field goal
Stephon
range. Could they get a
Diggs.
touchdown and
The
win game
Minneapolis
number 1?
Miracle,
Down to
bro.
45 seconds left. Lawrence is going to pass once more, and this one's intercepted
Nigga,
in the end
T-Law
zone.
some
They cannot
dog
come up
shit.
with any points whatsoever.
Even
And
in
that's
the
a
game.
brutal way to go out for game number 1 for the Jaguars. I thought this could end up being a sweep, but maybe they actually have a chance. Josh Allen has to go 89 yards. Another risky pass, only picks up 6. Not to mention they need a touchdown at the 18-yard line. 3rd and 4. There's a
What's the
flag.
flag?
on this
Might be
play.
holding.
It's going to be offensive holding. Not a good look. Backed up to a 3rd down and 13 for Josh Allen. He backs up another flag. This is a first down in the
Another
process.
flag
but
is
what
crazy.
will happen here? Back-to-back offensive holding.
Damn,
calls. They rolled
y'all
that
shooting
last play
yourselves in the
catch. It's
foot,
now
bro.
4th down and 11. TJ Watt trying to get his way to Josh Allen.
That's probably
but
game
instead,
right there.
turnover on downs,
Unless
the
they hold him to
Steelers
3. They
might
got
steal
2
game 1.
timeouts.
And so yes, Pittsburgh steals
Damn,
game
they end
1
up scoring a
away here in
touchdown.
Buffalo. Let's go to the NFC. Approaching the 2-minute warning. One more play for
That
Kirk
boy Brandon
Cousins.
Graham.
Should have waited till the 2-minute warning. It's a loss of 9 yards. Cousins will stay in the
Watch
air
him throw
as
a
he's
pick.
done so
Never mind, he
far.
threw a
It's gonna be
dot. Oh my
touchdown for
gosh.
Falcons to take the lead with 2 minutes remaining. There's still way too much time on the clock, however, and now the Falcons will go for 2 to make it a field goal difference, which they...
Nigga, you had
lost,
Bijan
however,
in the
and now
flat,
Falcons will go
dumbass.
for 2 to make
He
it
had
a field
Kyle
goal
Pitts
difference,
wide
which
open.
they will not get it. And the Eagles will be returning this kick to the house, which means the Falcons have to do that again.
No, that's
Philadelphia takes the
crazy.
lead. Now the Eagles are going to go for 2 to make it a touchdown difference, which
I'm
they might
heavily
not lose
invested
as
in
well.
this
So
now,
it stays a
bro.
5-point
Like-
game. Dead at the 1-minute mark. Cousins in some trouble.
Classic
Takes
Kirko,
another
bro.
sack. They call their 2nd timeout. The last
Nigga
time
has
Cousins
no
took a sack
agility
for 9 yards,
whatsoever.
he threw a touchdown
Not
the very
mobile
next
at
play.
all.
A little deja vu. Not quite. It's
Why
going to
are
be
you
3rd and long. 30
dunking it
seconds
off?
remaining. 3rd down and 10. Kirk Cousins, good protection. Fires down the middle
London,
of
you
the field.
gotta catch that. I ain't gonna
Incomplete.
lie,
4th and 10.
bro.
So 4th and 10. Who will take game number
throw it
1?
deep.
Cousins.
Deep
airs
shot.
it out. Double coverage.
It's tough.
Incomplete. Eagles
That's
take
tough.
over the football. So Philadelphia holds on after a clutch kick return, winning game number 1. And so our final game 1 in the divisional series, can the Green Bay Packers hold on against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys? 1 minute remaining, no
Dak
timeouts,
got lit
open
up.
receiver, and
Oh
running
my
towards the end zone is
gosh.
Jake Ferguson, but he'll get tackled inbounds at the 24. They get back to the line with 30 seconds remaining. Dak Prescott
Shit
towards
it.
the end zone.
They
It's
got
gonna
no
get split
timeouts,
at
though.
the 6-yard line, 1st and goal to CeeDee Lamb. We'll
Why
go
are
down
y'all
to get one
celebrating?
more playoff. 4
Oh my
seconds on the
gosh.
clock. They get it off. This is the final play. Dak Prescott in some trouble.
Dak just throw it
Out of the
up.
pocket towards the end zone. Touchdown.
And he dropped it.
What a wild and fast way to
Nah,
end
that's
game number 1 here in
crazy,
Lambeau,
bro.
But the home team takes it. Let's go ahead and jump to our game 2s. Trevor Lawrence only has 12 seconds to do something. Maybe make up for that interception.
Imagine.
That's a solid completion. 8 seconds remaining. One final play for Trevor Lawrence. 0 is on the
Chucking
clock.
it up.
Swinging it up towards the end zone to a man
Imagine.
pile. Incomplete. Kansas City will take game 2. Looks as the Bills will tie the series, so we're going back to Pittsburgh. So will the Falcons. This series series is tied, going to Atlanta. And the Packers will take a commanding 2-0 series lead going to Dallas. So now the matchups are shifting. The Jaguars will be at home alongside the Steelers, Falcons, and Cowboys. And so game 3 back in Jacksonville. Can the Jaguars prevent a sweep starting in overtime before by Travis Etienne?
For
the 13 now, the Jaguars managing the clock very well. Got the classic
Jags uniform.
Be the touchdown? No, they're gonna follow just to the one. Can the Chiefs come up with a defensive stop here? The goal line.
Damn, nigga went flying over the top.
Up and over for the first touchdown in overtime. Can Mahomes answer back with a touchdown himself? He will not. He'll throw an interception, which is gonna end the game automatically, and the Jaguars will still get 3 and survive in this series with a pick 6. So no sweeps in the divisional round. Now let's go to the Steelers and Ravens. Another game 3 overtime. This time it's the Bills.
Steelers and Ravens. Don't you mean Bills, nigga?
Down to the 43-yard line. Funny. I do not know if they can punt or kick a field goal from this distance. It's been around a 56, 57-yard field goal, so they're going to elect to punt the football. So the Steelers get some points on the board, then
that's a great punt, I ain't gonna lie,
and win this game. But what a punt, the 1-yard line. Najee Harris takes the outside handoff, picks a first down, gets past the safety, and cannot get past the
how y'all let them get all the way up there, bro, from the 1-yard line?
Win the game for the Steelers as they're already in Bills territory. George Pickens takes it to the 41, first down. Keep on running the football. Najee Harris hits the outside again. It's another first down, and they're well in range. So this field goal to win the game, it's about an extra point distance.
He's not missing this, bro.
To bring them to a 2-1
Chris Boswell is just as good as he is in real life in the game.
To the Falcons and the Eagles. Do the Eagles leave them too much time? I guess it doesn't matter because Kirk Cousins fumbles the football, and it's going to be a scoop and score. Kirk Cousins has to do it again and has to score a touchdown now. Down to 1:20 remaining on the clock. Kirk Cousins going to go deep, and he finds
pitch to the crib.
Its way to the end zone for the equalizer. However, the Eagles get the football back with plenty of time. Can the Falcons get the football back? Jalen Hurts is going to throw this one up. It's caught by Devontae Smith to the 32. So for another game-winning field goal in game number 3, the Eagles will come to Atlanta and steal it away for a 2-1 lead. And for game 3 in Dallas, the Cowboys get it done, which means it's going to be another 2-1 series lead, still in favor of the Green Bay Packers. So all series currently at a 2-1 series difference. Let's see if any of these teams can punch their ticket to the conference games. So if the Jaguars can finish off this drive with at least some points, there will be a game 5 in Kansas City. There's a catch to the 13-yard line by Evan Ingram. Etienne takes the handoff, and they're going to score prematurely, giving Patrick Mahomes a chance to tie this game up at 35-28. Picks up 7. Mahomes to pass the football again after calling a timeout. Wide open at the Jaguars logo is Xavier Worthy to the 40-yard line. They have 50 seconds to find their way into the end zone. Mahomes, and he finds a first down completion to the 8. Diving is great. Under 30 seconds, that timeout is still in their back pocket, but I don't even know if they'll even need it. Staying in the flat, can't get the tackle, falling at the 2-yard line. They call their final timeout with 17 seconds. Third down and goal with 12 seconds. Mahomes, what does he decide to do? Towards the end zone,
and a pick. Oh my gosh.
And there will be game 5 in Kansas City. The Chiefs had a 2-0 series lead. They better not choke this away. Well, it looks like we'll have another game 5 because the Steelers offense is the most stereotypical offense they usually are. They only scored 6 points in game 4. And we'll be seeing a third game 5 between the Eagles and Falcons going back to Philadelphia. Well, looking to force game 5, look at the score of this game. If the Cowboys can find the end zone and the 2-point conversion,
they're not going to find the end zone.
Bro,
like 50 points is crazy.
End zone and tie, it would probably be the third game.
How many minutes did he got the quarters on? Oh my gosh.
Which is going to put 6 on the board. No, drop to the 1. The Cowboys call their final timeout.
That would be a crazy touchdown.
I never cheered for the Cowboys.
I mean, that's probably better for them.
They need the touchdown. Very risky pass. Second and goal from the 1.
They get to kill some more clock.
Pass the football again.
Oh,
it's a drop. There's no way the Packers make a goal line stand. Another pass. Another bad
Why
pass.
Why don't y'all? I mean, they ain't got no timeouts.
So 4th down and goal. They decide to run the football.
Now y'all decide to run, dumbasses.
Oh my goodness.
Typical Dallas Cowboys, bro.
1-yard line. I have to talk about that.
And they say Madden ain't realistic.
Earlier,
yeah, okay.
Who stopped Tolbert from getting in the end zone, dropped him at the 1, and the Packers make 4 straight stops. However, the Green Bay Packers cannot kneel the football. Can the Cowboys get a safety? They will not. This game is over. And the Green Bay Packers drop a 50 bomb in game 4, and they will be the first team to clinch their way to the NFC Conference Championship games. So 3 Game 5s upcoming. Who will join the Green Bay Packers in the championship series? Final chance in Game 5 for the Jacksonville Jaguars to complete the comeback. They need a touchdown drive, but Trevor Lawrence fumbles the
Wow, that weak-ass strip sack.
And lets them scoop and score it. And
that's crazy.
Takes a 30-20 lead. No, seriously, I want to see a replay of this. Why did Trevor Lawrence just stand there like I held a GTA citizen at gunpoint? Look at that. Cam
Newton Madden is so bad, bro.
Well, the Jaguars
I only enjoy playing franchise mode for real.
They also got the
Like, the gameplay is just,
the onside kick recovery. It's a solid bounce, and it was touched too early. And unfortunately, everybody hates this, but there will be no comeback and upset here in the Jacksonville Chiefs series. The Kansas City Chiefs have clinched their way to the AFC Conference Series. Unfortunately, Pittsburgh forgot to show up in Game 5, which means the Bills will play the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship Series. Final Game 5, the Falcons currently have a lead, but that could definitely change.
Oh my gosh, what a dive!
Barkley in the back of the end zone. Falcons are closing in on field goal range, but they can definitely get 6 if they really want to. Here's a catch inside Eagles territory. Possibly one more attempt at a touchdown.
Kirk
Can they get it done right
here? He gonna end up
it's
going to pick.
Be close and falling at the 1-yard line. That was Ray McCloud. Now they're going to pass the football again, which Cousins.
Never mind to a dive.
The Falcons take the lead. Can Jalen Hurts
40 seconds left, though.
30 seconds remaining in 3 timeouts. That's a solid start.
No way. No way. No way.
Outrun the secondary for the Falcons.
No, that's crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. Hold on. We going back to that. Hold on.
30 seconds remaining in 3 timeouts.
How do you not make this tackle right here, bro? Nah, that's crazy. I would have been heated. I would have been heated. Ain't no fucking way.
Eagles take the lead back. Complete turn of the events for the Atlanta
Imagine
Falcons.
It.
Can they get it back? No. Cousins takes the sack. And the Eagles steal away Game 5.
What a fucking finish, bro.
To play the Green Bay Packers. This was essentially equivalent of hitting a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th. And we've made it to the championship series.
Here we go.
Chiefs versus Bills and Eagles
versus
Packers.
Bills,
These,
Chiefs.
Played in best of 7s. It's going to be played in 2-3-2
as long as
format.
the Chiefs
so
don't get to the finals, I'm good, bro.
Games, then the Eagles get 3 home games, and the Packers get 2 more. Bills need to get a couple first downs if they can
deep
get
shot.
out
What the fuck?
For a gain of like 70 yards to Keon Coleman.
Damn.
All they needed was simply 1 first down. Instead, Josh Allen just ices the game. So a dominant game for the Bills as they add on another field goal to win 45-35. Here's game 1 between the Eagles and Packers. Can the Eagles get the first down to steal game number 1 away? They will be short by 1 yard. Packers call their final timeout. So Jordan Love will get a chance to tie this game up. Here's some pressure by the Eagles, and Jordan Love is intercepted on the very first pass, and the Eagles
first pass is crazy.
We'll stay here for game number 2. The Bills currently up by 3 scores.
Oh my gosh.
10, and the Chiefs
belt to ass. Holy shit.
Ooh,
never mind. Hold up.
2-0 series lead going back to Kansas City. 3rd down and inches, handoff, and it's going to be backed up. A loss of 4.5 yards. 4th and 5. The 2 Georgia boys with the interior pressure. That was Jordan Davis and Kobe Dean to make it a 4th and 5. Can the Packers prevent from going down 2-0? It's a pass.
That's
completed
a dive.
first down.
Dobbs.
The pass on first down. Another first
Dobbs
down.
Again.
This is going to be inside the 20 to the 18. Touchdown win the game for the Green Bay Packers.
Oh my gosh, that's Romeo Dobbs went crazy on this drive.
So now the series are shifting to the other team's homes, including Kansas City and Philadelphia. Because this is MLB format, they're going to get 3 straight home games, a little bit different than the NHL and NBA best of 7 series. So let's see if Kansas City can prevent going down 3-0. Well, I'd like to say this is a must-win for Kansas City because coming back down 3-0 is basically impossible in best of 7 series. Here's the first down to the 35. Just like that, down to 30 seconds to get an end zone touchdown, and there it is right there.
They got to go for 2, though.
Conversion. So to tie the game up at 34,
he got Kareem Hunt right. He had Kareem Hunt in the flat.
Get it off.
Let's go.
The Bills take him down. Harrison Butker attempting an onside kick, and it's actually going to be recovered by Buffalo.
I was about to say, bro.
Kansas City, but instead they're down 3-0.
If the Chiefs would have recovered that shit.
We'll stay here for game number 4. Now let's catch up in the NFC.
Damn, 42-6.
Destroying the Eagles here in game 3. They're going to take a 2-1 series. We're staying here in Philadelphia for game 4. Well, this will be a game-winning kick for Harrison Butker in overtime for the Kansas City Chiefs. And congratulations, they prevented the sweep. Let's see if they can keep it rolling with game number 5. So now in game 4, the Eagles are in jeopardy of going down 3-1 in this series. They have under a minute to score a touchdown. They need to hurry up and snap the football, and they didn't even get it all.
Dumbasses.
The Eagles just wasted 30 seconds and got a delay of game call. Can they make up for it? This is going to be A.J. Brown first down to the 28. Good thing Brown got out of bounds. It stops the clock. On a cross is Dallas Goedert. He's going to be inside the 10-yard line.
Did he say Dallas Goedert?
Here's going to be a touchdown pass, which is going to take the lead for Philadelphia to Devontae Smith. 28 seconds and 3 timeouts.
25-24, they can still get in field goal range.
They're already to the 41-yard line. Jordan Love might get sacked here.
You got to throw the ball away, bro.
Yards. They have time for probably one more play. It has to be out of bounds, however, with 10 seconds. Looks like Jordan Love actually wants to go to the end zone, and that's not going to pay off. The Philadelphia Eagles will tie the series up at 2-2. Will Kansas City be able to close out another victory here in Game 5? Check down for Buffalo.
Yes, sir.
James Cook and more inside the 20. Another 3rd down for Buffalo. Josh Allen the pass needing 6 yards.
That's a dive.
Touchdown. The Bills take the lead. Just over a minute. 3rd down and 1. And this is going to be complete to midfield and more. I think it's
bro.
Juju as he gets to the 37.
Juju's not
Looks
that
like Game 5
fast.
will be going to overtime if Harrison Butker can make this with the uprights. Yes, he will. 3rd down and 7, already into Kansas City territory. Josh Allen going deep. It's going to be 4th and 7. So all Mahomes needs another field goal.
Big.
Another interception.
Let's go.
And the Bills get it right back. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs are like the Philadelphia.
Please no wide right.
They win 100 games in the regular season, and they have nothing.
Please
to show
no wide
in the
right.
postseason. Here's a 50-yard kick by Tyler Bass, and the Bills will be moving on.
Bro, I thought he missed that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Final score 37 to 34.
Gosh.
Nice little gentleman sweep. Now,
1
who
to
will take
4.
the series lead
So I
going
think that
back
was
to
the-
Green Bay?
the,
Currently 28 to
series
21.
right
Can the
there.
Green Bay Packers tie it? They get a field goal on the board. Can they get a touchdown drive? They will. Eagles need to respond. It's going to overtime, in which the Eagles get a walk-off touchdown. They take the lead 3-2 in the series. So Game 6 will be going back to Lambeau, and if necessary, Game 7 as well will be in Green Bay. Who will make it to the Super Series to play the Buffalo Bills? So the Packers got to fend off
shit.
the Eagles here if they want to have a Game 7. And
Dot,
here's a touchdown
Smitty.
by Philadelphia. Extra point takes
Extra
the
point to
lead.
take the
Devontae
lead.
Smith has been a late game hero
Nah,
for
for
the
that,
Eagles.
bro,
Maybe
that
Jordan
touchdown
Love
he had
won't
against the
interception this
Falcons
time.
at
He
the
has
end of
20
that.
seconds to get about 50 yards. That only picks up 6. Season's on the line. You got to
Can
look
Love
further
be
than
clutch?
that. That's a solid completion to the 45. They need
Oh,
one more of
they
those
got
quickly if they want to
Narverson,
get a
bro.
range for a field goal. 4
Trash-ass
seconds
kicker.
left. I think this is going to burn up
He
the
chucking
entire
that
clock,
shit?
looking for a touchdown. And
Oh my gosh, Christian Watson, you gotta catch that. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Nigga told him something. Where's the flag? Like, you didn't just drop the game winner.
Super Series,
Like,
a
bro.
combination of the Super Bowl and the World Series. It's the exact same format, best of 7.
Okay.
We're starting with 2 games at the home team, which is gonna be the Buffalo Bills because they finished with a better regular season record. Well, finally, I got this green screen to work. Nah, I'm just back home. Let's go to the Super Series for Game 1. Very low scoring affair in Game number 1, but the Buffalo Bills will take a 1-0 series lead. But then the Philadelphia Eagles will answer back in Game 2, stealing this one away from the Buffalo Bills. We're now going to Philadelphia for Games 3, 4, and 5. And the Eagles will win this first game, taking a 2-1 series lead in Philadelphia. But then the Bills will answer right back
Oh,
to tie
tie
the series
series.
at 2-2. Now, Game 5 is very important. Whoever wins it takes a 3-2 series lead. We're staying here in Philadelphia. And I think both teams know the importance of this game because it's gone to overtime where the Bills will strike first
shit.
blood with a touchdown 30-24 as we stand. Of course, the Eagles still get a possession in overtime, down by a touchdown.
Look out.
Jalen Hurts gets out of the pocket. He's going to run
Oh
for
my
the first
gosh.
down himself.
Damn.
Past midfield and falls at the 42-yard line. But
Great
he
tackle
also
by him.
gets injured on that very same play.
No
Who comes in
fucking
for him?
way.
It's Kenny Pickett himself.
Kenny
Goes down to
Pickett?
48.
Yeah,
He's
this
taking
game is
in
over.
overtime. It
This
looks
game
like
is
Kenny Pickett's
over.
playing right now because he somehow
Pi-
avoids this sack. And
What?
it's still
Kenny
losing
Pickett is
yards.
not
Just
doing that in
outside
real
the red
life,
zone
bro.
for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Get
Kenny
sacked.
Pickett
Yeah,
has
that's
got
what he
rid of
does
this
in real
football,
life.
and he
Take
takes a
sacks.
sack on
Pause.
2nd down. Everything's 4th down territory from here. 3rd and 15. Kenny Pickett gets it all back at the 11-yard line. Jalen
No
Hurts is back in the
fucking
game.
way.
He throws a touchdown, his very first pass back in the lineup to Jahan.
I thought it was Hurts.
Dotson.
I was about to say, I thought it was
Josh Allen
Kenny
answered
Pickett
back
at
with
first.
some points
Oh, yeah,
himself. It
Shakir.
looked like he
Oh, yeah,
will with the
Shakir.
first
Oh, yeah,
pass,
Shakir.
holding in field goal range. I believe Shakir to the 19. Well, so
Damn,
much
Allen
for
threw
that
for
Kenny
400
Pickett
yards.
Jalen Hurts drive as the Buffalo Bills with a
And
field
it's
goal
up
kick
and
to win here
good.
in Philadelphia will take a 3-2 series lead.
What a
And
fucking
even
game.
worse for the Eagles, we're going back to Buffalo for Game 6. The Bills can close it out here, but let's see if the Eagles can force Game 7. 10-10 the 4th quarter. Can the Eagles force game number 7 going to another overtime? They score first touchdown. So do the Bills. Eagles can't respond back. They get the ball back again. We will have Game 7
Oh
here
my
in
gosh.
Buffalo.
Game 7.
Staying in Buffalo. The
we
Philadelphia
go.
Eagles will need another touchdown drive, and here in regulation, down by a touchdown.
Hey,
just
what the
happened there?
fuck? What the hell?
Apparently, he
Hold
was
up,
down
hold up.
regulation. Game 7.
This is exactly
staying in
why
Buffalo.
Madden is
The Philadelphia
horrible now,
Eagles will need
bro.
another touchdown drive, and here
He's clearly down.
regulation, down by a touchdown.
He gets
what just happened
what
there?
the fuck?
What? So apparently he was down to the 44-yard line before Spider-Man slinging the ball 20 yards down the field. Anyways, 3
Hurts
minutes
up the
left.
gut.
Jalen Hurts takes
Oh
off.
my gosh.
First down inside the 39. 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Jalen Hurts first
Schmitty.
down. They also refused to call one of their
Schmitty
3
been
timeouts,
clutching the
which leaves us with
playoffs.
a minute and 20 seconds.
Uh-oh,
It better pay
Calcaterra.
off. It's going to be close here. 1st and goal to 4. Under 1 minute remaining. Will the Bills make a stop at the goal line? They will not. Touchdown
Fucking
Eagles.
die.
Bills start the football in overtime. Hopefully they do something better than that last drive. That's already a solid start. Just outside field goal range too. They need
Got
this
him.
first down.
Keon
and they're gonna
Coleman
get it,
to
and
the
Washington gets 6 points on the board
crib.
instead, the Keon Coleman. So once again, same situation. The Eagles
we
need a
go.
touchdown drive
Oh
in
my
overtime.
gosh.
Hopefully
Imagine
Kenny
if
Pickett
Han
doesn't come
would've
to the game
cribbed that.
again. But what a start for Jalen Hurts and Jahan Dotson. Just outside the red zone now. The Eagles are taking their sweet old time on this drive.
Dots.
That's more
Oh
like
my
a touchdown
goodness,
than
bro.
tie
Back
with
and
AJ
forth.
Brown unless they go for 2, which they will not. Meaning they'll give the ball back to
Okay.
Josh Allen again. He did the exact same thing last time and won the game on it. Can the Eagles get the football back? 3rd and 7 for Josh Josh Allen.
That's a
and
great play.
What a pass deflection. And just like that, all the Eagles need is a field goal, but it's going to be 3rd and 4 at the 46-yard line. Will the Bills get the football back again, passing first down inside Bills territory to the 39? The Bills need to force a stop here, but Saquon Barkley's going to get close to a first down. And finally, in triple overtime to win the Super Series
Triple
here
overtime
in Game
is
7,
crazy.
the kick is up and it is
Good.
The Eagles win after
Wow.
180 total games of playing in an MLB schedule. Well, here's a look at the final postseason bracket.
Yo,
with the Philadelphia
that was
Eagles
crazy.
winning the Super Series. And that's going to put a conclusion on today's episode. In total, I simulated a total of 2,477 games throughout the regular season
Holy
and postseason
fuck.
combined. If I was to give an MVP out, it would probably be Patrick Mahomes. Kind of stereotypical, but still 38,000 yards, 360 touchdowns, and 92 picks. Really
Hey,
solid
Chiefs
ratio.
playbook
He was
is
also like
crazy.
the only quarterback who showed no signs of slowing down. The fatigue did not phase him. So yeah, that concludes the end
Black
of
magic.
today's video. I want to thank you guys for being very patient. Hopefully I don't have to go through another natural disaster again. To make up for it, I posted a poll in the community tab. I want you guys to vote for my next Imperialism episode, which I'll begin working on shortly. Right now, NFL Reset is leading, but I just want to see your votes anyways because it'll help determine what comes next after that. So anyways, thank you guys for watching another video, and I will see you guys next time.
Hey man, this is a great vid. I ain't gonna lie. Ooh, he made a basketball one too. I ain't gonna lie. That might have to be my next one I react to. I ain't gonna lie. But hey man, that was a great vid. I ain't gonna lie. This was a great idea as well. You know what I'm saying? Cause like really imagine if the NFL had a baseball schedule, bro. Like how many injuries there would be, bro. Like torn ACLs for damn near every player. CTE would skyrocket. Like that shit would be crazy. But I wanna know what you guys think down in the comments below. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what other NFL videos you want me to react to. Without further ado, I'm out. Yeah!